Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
There's always just that active red light defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. Thank you for that, Ian Wright. People deluded, I'm back again. As usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope you're doing well and safe. And I hope all of you lot are having a great time, whatever you're doing and wherever you're watching from. Smash the like button. Don't forget to comment any thoughts throughout. And yeah, let's get into it. Allegedly, Arsenal are moving closer to bringing in Timber to the football club. Allegedly, courtesy of the Daily Mail and Simon Jones, who's written the article, Arsenal verbally agree a fee rising to £40.5 million for Ajax defender Jeroen Timber as their busy week continues after Kai Havertz signed, and West Ham have obviously accepted 105 million quid for a Declan Rice, people, which again, where Timber's concerned, apologies, and obviously Declan Rice, while it seems they're moving in the right direction, we need to tread lightly. Obviously, Arsenal and West Ham are still hashing out the framework for what Declan Rice's deal will look like in terms of when they'll actually get this 105 million. Where this is concerned with the Ajax defender, it said verbally, in life, talk is cheap. And in business, you know, anything that's not legally blinding, I's dotted, T's crossed, you're everything's up for debate, but it's a step in the right direction. So I'm sure the Arsenal's accountants, they're, you know, drawing up their documents to filter that through to Ajax so that obviously Timber can now formally agree personal terms, even though that's probably not an issue. Obviously have his medical, much like Declan Rice as well, and be confirmed like Kai Havertz in the door, new Arsenal Football Club, so that Mikel Arteta and Edu and the runs around him can make any improvements in terms of outgoings and incomings to the football club. Allegedly, we verbally agreed on a fee of 36.5 million, rising to 40.5 million for Timber. Allegedly, they wanted 60 million euros, 50 odd million quid. So seems like we got a bit of a discount for the 22-year-old Dutch international. Mikel Arteta's side made an improved offer for the highly rated Dutch defender on Monday after their initial £30 million bid was rebuffed last week. Ajax were thought to value the academy product at 50 million, but the 22-year-old's desire to move meant both clubs were keen to come to an agreement. Shout out to Ajax if that's the case. The North London's club's priorities, or better yet, other two priority targets were Kai Havertz and Declan Rice. Talk of Kai Havertz playing as a midfielder next season for Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta, interestingly, like Edu, if you go on Arsenal.com, praise Kai Havertz's achievements, his experience, and how he can tie into the youngest squad we've got. Described him as a midfielder for as much as he played as a false nine at Chelsea. So maybe Kai Havertz and Declan Rice are coming in to take Partey and Xhaka's spots or provide alternatives or competitions for the two roles in the pivot. And when you look at Martin Odegaard, Smith Rowe, maybe even Fabio Vieira, there's a good options to have there in terms of what different games and the dynamics may bring and the different complements around midfield. You know, again, Smith Rowe can play there, Fabio can play there, Martin Odegaard can play there, all in bunch of other roles. You can force it and actually say Zinchenko. Timber can play in midfield, even though I think he'll exclusively be playing in defence. Obviously, you've still got on paper Granit Xhaka and Partey. So, and assuming we sign Declan Rice and Havertz is there, assuming we sign Declan Rice, there's different mixes and blends and alternatives Arteta can introduce. So yeah, it'd be nice if Arteta gets his three main targets. They've all got a wealth of experience in terms of, you know, us having this youngest squad. Timber's come through at Ajax, played a number of important games. You know, last season, in fact, the season before when Martinez was there, had a great partnership at centre-half, I believe, with Ajax. So he can put pressure on Saliba's spot and also deputise and potentially take his spot, just like with Benjamin White. You've got three players that I've just listed there, all getting in their country's squads at international level and things like that, all of the right ages, all want to play games. So may the best man win. If you're already at the club, don't let an incoming player take your spot. If you're coming into the club, go and take someone's spot, because I'm sure nobody wants to be on the bench and everyone wants to play games. Go and give Arteta headaches. So yeah, it'd be nice to get them in, especially, you know, in June. I know a number of players have already made moves: Bellingham, McAllister, Timber, Havertz, and Rice, by God's grace. Mason Mount looks to be going United, and there's several other things that have gone on in the world of football already. A bunch of players have gone to the Middle East. So it'd be great. But again, until you see that a bid's formally been agreed and the players traveling to have a medical and them things there, maybe this is the calm before the storm and we may have to be patient, but it's a step in the right direction nonetheless, people. Obviously, young Ethan Noreri stayed at the club. I was actually reading this myself. This article really doesn't make sense now, unfortunately, because now he's announced that he's signed the new deal at the football club. Have I still got the tab? Check out the video I released earlier, people. I won't bore you lot, but yeah, Ethan's committed his future. An original article came out of Holland, actually talking about Timber as well. Timber apparently can pack his suitcase to fly to England. Medical tests and the presentation are scheduled in the coming days. He's played 121 times for Ajax, scoring 6 goals and getting 4 assists, and getting 11 yellow cards. So it'd be nice to see what happens there. Despite his young age, he's become champion of Netherlands twice. So I think that means winning the Eredivisie. And he's also at one point, been crowned individual awards in the Eredivisie. So yeah, good players that carry resale value and scope to improve and get better, etc. We've been linked with another West Ham player, Ben Johnson. Now, I just think he's on the list. We've been linked with Ivan Fresneda, Cancelo, Ben Johnson, apologies, Sasha Boy a few weeks ago. The common denominator is they're all fullbacks in it. So maybe, obviously, him playing in the Premier League, maybe being available on cut price, 23 years of age, not a decent sort of defender, if I'm honest with you. I don't think he's bad. He would have been flagging up on the radar, really, because it's an area we could identify in. Maybe we sign a right back who's out and out, who I'd love to go with having Timber in the team, but I don't think we're going to go for that. But allegedly, we've been linked with a second West Ham player. Arsenal now in the hunt to sign Ben Johnson from West Ham United, as well as Declan Rice. Allegedly, seems like he's kind of lost his role a bit. I'm sure the season before the season that's just gone, he was kind of starting week in, week out. I'd have to ask a West Ham fan. Seems like he was dislodged a bit last season, and he's on the peripheral things. Allegedly, he's made 17 appearances in the Prem last season. He's 23 years of age. Allegedly, he's refusing to sign a new deal in East London, while the club themselves are refusing to pay the Englishman regular start wages. So maybe that's where the bulk of the rumours have come from, and maybe Arsenal or anyone else isn't necessarily interested. It's just what we've seen, people. Allegedly, we could be interested in him. You'd imagine maybe if we confirm Declan Rice, Timber to go with Havertz, maybe that's something. I doubt the credibility on that, really. Again, so more stuff just linking Timber to Arsenal. Apparently, as soon as Saliba returns back to training, he'll formalise his new contract, and the same goes for Reece Nelson, courtesy of Romano. On Timber, Romano has said, I understand Arsenal and Ajax are now entering in the final stage of talks for Timber. Deal progressing after 45/48 million bid submitted on Monday. So 45 million euros, 48 million pounds. Parties are now getting closer, but still some points to be discussed. So moving in the right direction, but not quite there yet. Apparently, Deco has convinced Barcelona to go for Ivan Fresneda, who is a fullback and was previously linked with Arsenal. I don't know if we will visit that. For some fans who still potentially want Zaha, apparently he'll become a free agent on Friday because, should do, innit? Because ain't that the 1st of July? My maths could be wrong, but technically that's when these contracts expire. So we'll have to see. I think the boat's gone for Zaha. I've covered this in the last 2 videos, so check them out. But apparently Arsenal will reignite their interest in Tchouaméni if Lavia and Caicedo pursuit fails, people. Now, I'd love Tchouaméni, quality player. Real Madrid would be silly to let him go, really and truly, after a difficult, or better yet, mixed first season at the club, really. I think he's an absolute baller. He should have been brought to the club when he was at Bordeaux, and I'm sure a lot of you will as well. Obviously, we need midfield reinforcements. If he is interested, not just us, but Europe's elite will probably circle. If I was Paris Saint-Germain, I'd go for that, especially if Mbappe's going there. He'd walk into a lot of teams, really. And the article's gone on to say Real Madrid probably won't consider selling him unless you're going to talk or get a starting point of 100 million quid that they've just paid Monaco for. So I somewhat doubt that. Vlahovic, apparently Real Madrid are actually conceiving a plan to sign Vlahovic on loan. Now, Juventus clearly are looking to sell him based on reports. Obviously, Real Madrid have let Benzema go. That's probably where that's concerned. Allegedly, it will cost 15 to 20 million euros, people, for a loan, and including an option to buy. Again, another player that you'd probably have to reimburse the 90-odd million euros that Juventus initially paid on him, really. He was a player that was previously linked with Arsenal, so we'll have to see how those things develop. I feel like I'm missing something out, people. Just feel like I'm missing something out. I feel like I haven't actually included something in these many tabs. But nonetheless, to kind of wrap up this live stream, people, or better yet, live stream. Man said live stream. I'm so used to doing it video. We're closing in on English Youngster, if this would be nice enough to load. So that just further confirms, courtesy of Romano, Ethan Nwaneri is going to commit his future. Some of you may remember the face. Obviously made his debut in the first half of the season away at Brentford. We're on the verge of completing the deal to Declan in relation to Declan Rice to Arsenal, and it seems like we're moving there. Kai Havertz has been officially announced. So yeah, man, hopefully we get them in. A host of Premier League clubs are chasing Lavia. Every day, Lavia is linked with a new club. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, you know, ironically, not really linked with a move back to Manchester City, but as you know, they have an option of buying him back next season, and they probably have a sell-on clause and a healthy one at that. You know, should he be sold to anyone in the Prem? Had Southampton have stayed in the Premier League, I reckon he stays there for one more season. Obviously, his hand is potentially being forced because, you know, in his only debut season, Southampton, unfortunately, were relegated. Once again, we're reportedly moving closer to signing Timber. Romano said a few days ago that he would actually sign a deal until 2028, and he loves the Arsenal project and wants to join them, people. Apparently, we set an asking price for Balogun of 35 million euros. You all know Thomas Partey has been linked with a move away from this football club, people. Again, quite a few of our players have been linked with moves away since the market opened. You know, we've allegedly, the early reports linking Smith Rowe with a move away are wide of the mark. We don't know anything can happen, but, you know, if we're saving him, Balogun's been linked with a move away. Eddie Nketiah has been linked with a move away. Kieran Tierney's been linked with a move away. Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey have been linked with moves away. Jorginho, his agent, has come out and quashed that, been linked with a move away. Rob Holding and the Tavareses, the Lokongas, the Cedrics, the Pepes. We'll all have to wait and see what happens. But there's a lot to be done, not just for our club, but all over the footballing world. And the market's just open. So anything else that comes out, you can rest assured that I'll get videos out. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Check out the June playlist where I've put all of the videos where we've covered all the things Arsenal in that, people. And I'll see you lot tomorrow whenever updates and emerging news appear. So yeah, and don't forget to follow on Twitch and Kick as well, Deluded Gooner. Most importantly, stay blessed, stay safe. Happy weekend in advance. I'm out.
Always use that active red light, defending. I think it's like